You've worked hard to get here and life is finally going your way. It's like asking a baby to explain something as complex as why Keanu Reeves never ages. Your superpower. And that superpower is... Hey, thanks for clicking on this video. When it comes to living in a world with artificial intelligence, do you want to know what your superpower is? Do you want to know how to beat AI? Well, it all has to do with this. My name is Gabriel and you're watching Think Thrive, where we discuss mindful topics with enthusiasm. Let's get into it. Now, by the end of this video, I promise that this will all make sense and that you'll leave here amused and a little smarter. But right now, let's just use our imagination a little bit. Let's say that you're working as an accountant at a large corporation. You've been there for 5 years and you feel secure and there's enough opportunity to grow. You've worked hard to get here and life is finally going your way. So, it's a day like any other. You're slogging away at your desk, reviewing financial statements and diligently crunching those numbers like your favorite breakfast cereal. But suddenly, you hear commotion in the office, an orchestra of upset voices. Little do you know that your life is about to change forever. Toby, your colleague and friend since high school, rushes to you in utter panic. He was just in a meeting, and with a troubled voice, he tells you,
"This damn company is implementing new AI software, and it's gonna replace us within 6 months.
We're redundant."
As it turns out, the entire 5th floor is being laid off because of this AI software, which is capable of doing your primary duties as an accountant up to 100,000 times faster, with little to no error. Great. If you want to know what happens to you and Toby, make sure you stick around to the end. But would you be surprised if I told you that this isn't the first time we faced this threat? Remember this thing? No, not that. This thing. Now, when we talk about the Industrial Revolution, we really should specify which one, because there have been 3, and we are currently transitioning into the 4th, while heading towards the 5th. I promise that I'll keep it short, but we need a quick history recap. The first Industrial Revolution is said to have started in 1760 Great Britain and lasted around 80 years until 1840. During this period, inventions included the steam engine, the telegraph, and the spinning jenny, which produced woolen or cotton cloth more than 8 times faster than the contemporary spinning mule. The second Industrial Revolution started in 1870 USA and lasted 44 years until 1914. This period brought the internal combustion engine, electricity, and the assembly line. The third Industrial Revolution began in the 1950s and continued its primary phase into the late 90s of the dot-com bubble. This digital revolution, as it's also known, brought nuclear energy, electronics, and the internet. And this brings us to the fourth Industrial Revolution, or Industry 4.0. This era envisions the use of technology such as quantum computing, nanorobotics, gene editing, autonomous vehicles, and of course, artificial intelligence. As we face this new age of technological advancement, some of us might be starting to feel uneasy about the prospect of being replaced by AI, just like our friend Toby. This fear of automation and redundancy of human workers is called technophobia. And it's something which we humans also experienced during the first Industrial Revolution, when machinery began to replace manual labor or skilled craftsmen in their respective industries. This even led to certain British textile workers destroying machines which had replaced their jobs, and these people came to be known as Luddites, supposedly named after the mythical figure Ned Ludd. Anyway, when we look back at this point in time, what lessons could we learn from then to apply to our present? While it's true that certain tasks were taken over by machinery, humans were not exactly replaced, but rather they transitioned into different, new or more advanced roles, such as operating or maintaining machinery. Through this revolution, many jobs were also created. That's not to say that there were no pain points. If someone has developed a specialized craft over 2 decades and then is suddenly required to develop an entirely different skill set, of course there are going to be significant drawbacks. But with a spirit of adaptability and a willingness to learn, this challenge can be overcome. We humans are adaptable by our very nature. If we weren't, civilization would never have come this far. And if you weren't so awesome, you wouldn't have made it this far into the video, so thank you. Consider the last 3 decades, where it has become the norm to learn new skills as technology and industry continue to develop. We learn to use and appreciate the internet, email, smartphones, electronic gadgets, the list goes on and on. Even for industry, it's pretty normal to have to learn new software or skills as you progress throughout your career. Speaking from my own experience in an engineering profession, it's not always easy or pleasant, but it is doable and it is progress. And nowadays, no one is concerned anymore by the fact that we no longer have a career path in creating textiles using a spinning mule. Now, I know that these things I mentioned don't exactly feel as threatening as AI might, and that brings me back to what I mentioned at the start of this video, your superpower. and that superpower is liking and subscribing, which is guaranteed to make you
8% more attractive.
Okay, really now. Your superpower is creativity. You see, to understand a query and then formulate responses and conclusions, artificial intelligence relies on its pre-programmed algorithm and the database of information available to it. AI needs to know in advance how to respond, and if the algorithm lacks the necessary code or the database does not contain the relevant information, AI gets stumped. Asking AI to deal with something when it hasn't been adequately prepared for that is like, well, it's like asking a baby to explain something as complex as why Keanu Reeves never ages. Baby's just going to babble and soil itself. AI is very good at doing repetitive tasks, such as mundane calculations or sifting through a lot of text to present an overview of what it thinks you're looking for. It does well when it is prepared with a large, relevant database and is coded with much foresight of predictable human interaction. But that means its own weakness is humans, because it relies on us to code it well and then to interact with it as intended. However, humans are unpredictable because we're creative, and when it comes to new and unknown situations, we humans have the upper hand. We rely on intuition or inner tuition, inner knowledge, to adapt to new information or situations which we have not encountered before, and we are much faster and more efficient at doing this than AI. Additionally, we're social creatures, so even if you're a troll who lives in a basement or phone calls make you so nervous that you sweat like a plumber in summer, we generally still prefer and enjoy interactions with humans rather than some chatbot 5000. AI lacks the organic feeling of human interaction. It might decode and interpret what you're saying, but it struggles to understand the subtle nuances of being human, like why Miley Cyrus is a fantastic dog whisperer.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyways.
So, if you want to beat AI, play to your strengths of being human. You can develop more people skills and use creativity. And don't worry if you think you're not creative, because the truth is that creativity comes naturally to humans. You might not be creative in the same way as an artist or a musician, but every one of us has a spark of creativity. Even if your profession is uploading pictures of salmon onto a zoo's website, my bet is on the human to do a better job of it. Also, rather than viewing AI as a replacement for humanity, try to view it as a new tool. As a programmer, you could perhaps use it to write the monotonous parts of your code, or to check your code for errors. But it's still up to you, the human, to understand the awkward and imperfect language of the client, and then deliver what they actually asked for, and how they want the code to work. As a writer, you could ask AI some questions to inspire some script ideas, something I personally do on occasion using ChatGPT. But then it's still up to us, the humans, to do the actual job of creating a great story and sprinkling the delicious flavor of human creativity. AI is a recipe, but you are the chef. And remember what AI stands for. It's artificial intelligence. And artificial never tastes as good as the real thing. Get it now? By the way, I plan to follow up with another video on AI fails. So if you enjoy this new YouTuber's content, make sure that you've subscribed, and if you didn't like the video, let me know how I can improve. Otherwise, just share your ideas in the comments. You matter, and I really hope that this video has uplifted you, or at least given you some perspective. Thank you very much for watching, and see you again soon. Bye. Bye.